All right, Sunday morning. Got my hood up because it's cold and freezing. Got my hot coffee. Minus 23 Celsius. Taking the wind chill factor, it's like minus 34. I got a nice warm car. Thank God. I got my brakes done yesterday. Thank God. I have a brother-in-law that was nice enough to do them. We had a heated garage yesterday and we got them done. So they're done. Good to go. So I got to work my ass off, which I've been doing anyway, even with bad brakes. They were grinding so bad you could hear them grinding as I was driving. It was like metal on metal. When we took them off, there was nothing left on the brake pad, like nothing, absolutely nothing. So I'm thankful I got them done. Yeah, when you see the mortgage rates going up and everything, I can understand why the landlord is not budging on the rent hike. Yeah, so we'll be paying $500 more a month starting in January, which is a really big hit for us. And my wife says, well, why don't we just move? And then I look at rentals and they're all the same. They're all the same. You can't rent a house for any less, really, than what we're paying. Otherwise, you just get a main floor, you don't get the basement, you don't get the whole house, and you're still paying like $1,700, $2,000 a month. So it is ridiculous. We're gonna look into maybe, hopefully, get a mortgage and buy this house or another house. I don't know. We'll see when spring rolls around, because I'm not moving and I'm not going anywhere in this deep freeze. Lord willing. That's all. But you struggle in this life, and your struggles in this life are testings from God, given from a loving Father that provides all. I see it that way. You know, when you are a believer and you realize that God is operating it all, then you can relax, because no matter what the situation is, He'll drag you through. And He'll drag you through. I console my wife as much as I can, but she's in distress over this, because I'm not really working. She tells me, well, why don't you get a real job? She doesn't consider this delivery job that I have a real job, because it's making money, but it's not really making the money that she thinks I should be making. But that's my wife. God is providing through this avenue, but it's very little. It's barely there, I would say. Just on that brink of paying, and that's it, which is fine. It's how God is doing it. Nothing we could do to change our situations. God has given it, and God is scripting it. This is how I look at it. But when you're around people that don't believe the way you believe and understand the way you understand, it's difficult, because they're not seeing it that way. So they're locked up in stubbornness. They're not going to see it from that perspective. I mean, my wife is beautiful. I mean, she knows that God is providing, but it's difficult for her. You can't change a situation, only if God puts it in play. The environment, everything, every moment, every breath that you have, He's the one that provides it. And to realize that, you can be at peace. But then you got all the stress from people that don't believe the way you believe. And it's just crazy, but it's just the way it is right now. We suffer it out. We long for our home. We long to be removed and changed. Our bodies changed. Our real home among the celestials is where I want to go. I can't lay around and be depressed all day long, because I have to work. I have to live, because God has given me this. When you've been through the rack enough times and you realize that it is God that is giving it, it's beautiful, because then you can live and wake up and do what you need to do. I looked up that word rebuke, and it only has one passage in 1 Timothy, I think, and that's it for Paul's letters with that word rebuke, and that's expose, rebuke, and treat. The rest I seen in the keyword concordance was Matthew, John, Luke, and I think even in Acts, I don't know. But there's not many passages with that word rebuke in the Greek scriptures. But the word entreat, when you look it up in the keyword concordance, you see that it relates to the word console. So if you're exposing first, exposing the falsehood, rebuking the actual teacher that's teaching it, and then you're entreating. So you're basically consoling the person you just rebuked. So ultimately, you're bringing it all together into a beautiful little deal. And if the person is getting it, if God has them getting it and understanding what you're trying to do, then that's the beautiful outcome and the sequel of it. When they get what you're trying to convey to them, you're actually rebuking because the teaching is horrible. So you're rebuking the teaching, and the only sense of the teacher is the fact that they're coming into a realization of really they're teaching falsehood. And then you entreat and console them and let them know that God is operating it, and that they come into a realization. You pray that they come into a realization of the truth. And this is our prayer. It's Paul's prayer, that they would come into a realization of God's operation. This is my prayer for everybody that don't get it. Even among brethren, we lift each other up. We build up the body. This is what I'm here to do, to encourage. And even my complaining, it's all of God. Yes, it is. But it's not a matter, it's human relative complaining. The situations you go through in life, it's there. Be real about it. It's not like some fantasy land. No. What's happening is happening to you. And it's happening for the purpose of God. It's not happening for no reason. It's happening to build you up. It's happening for the growth in the Lord. Our walk in the Lord is so intimate and so detailed that it comes through stages. And I notice for myself, it's stages. I'm coming through, God is bringing me through stages, and the stages of that growth, to come into that realization and be at peace and understand, so you're able to give back to the body of Christ. You're able to give back to your brothers and sisters. You're able to give back. You're able to lift up. And there are brothers and sisters that console and build up all the time, which is great. I love that. I watched Leo this morning, our brother Leo, 2 beautiful videos, brought out the scriptures. You know, my wife was in the background, ba 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 ba, but the rent being raised and everything. So I went in my office and I just watched brother Leo, and it just lifted up my spirit. And I had to go right out the door, but it's just like, wow, okay, you know, consoling one another. All right, I guess that's enough ranting for this morning. I got to get to work here in this freezing weather. So, grace and peace. Have a beautiful day.